Let's invite the CEO, Aluminium and Power from Vedanta. Let's welcome Ajay Kapoor.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to share my thoughts on a topic of great relevance to our economy, strategies for sustainable manufacturing. The catalyzing role of manufacturing in the economic growth and development of countries is irrefutable. It is a driving force behind developed and developing nations, traveling the path to economic prosperity. Notwithstanding India's early strategy, articulation, and focus on creating a diversified industrial base through reforms focused on manufacturing, the desired momentum of manufacturing growth dynamism has unfortunately remained elusive. Evident from the sector's stagnant share of about 15 to 17% in GDP since 90s. Let us consider a few facts to put things in perspective. In FY20, manufacturing accounted for around 17.4% of India's GDP versus 15.3% in FY20. Contrast this with Vietnam's manufacturing sector, which more than doubled its share of GDP in the same period. Over 2007 and 20, manufacturing's share of employment increased just 1%. vis-a-vis 5% increase in the services sector. China, on the other hand, contributes 13.3% to the world exports of approximately 2.5 trillion out of its 19 trillion. India's share is minuscule at just 1.7%. We can ascribe the sluggishness of the Indian manufacturing sector to multiple factors. The first is the infrastructure. Second, lack of robust supplier ecosystems, be it MSMEs from credit gap, high interest rates, limited product-based clusters, or even SEZs. The third would be poor labor productivity. And fourth, ease of doing business. So while on ease of doing business, the world index for India has improved from 130 in 16 to 63 in 20. Challenges in land acquisition, environmental clearances, etc. have been still bottlenecks we need to clear. I will now spend some time looking at the global supply chain realignment and the opportunities which India is staring at. Challenges notwithstanding, India's potential as a manufacturing powerhouse is absolutely indisputable. While the trinity of demography, democracy, and demand are favorable catalyst has been discussed very often, I would like to address the opportunity for India arising from the COVID-19 pandemic as global supply chains are realigned. As COVID-19 threw fragile global supply chains into disarray, many companies were stunned by their own vulnerability. The pandemic has brought to life the risk of depending on a concentrated supply base. In a recent survey of 200 global manufacturers by Bain & Company and the Digital Supply Chain Institute, executives rank flexibility and resilience as their top supply chain goals. Importantly, 40% executives affirmed that they will significantly reduce dependence on China and add to this geopolitical volatility and unpredictable US-China landscape. The opportunity for India is significant. Let us look at three reasons why. The trade war of 18-19, companies diversified supply chains from 2019, witnessing a 19% YOY reduction of approximately $50 billion in imports of tech electronic products from China to the US. Further, there is an 18% reduction of about another 40 billion of import of industrial goods. Major production companies were seen moving production to India and other geographies. Estimates suggest US production capacity of around 300 to 400 billion of goods per year will have to be repatriated if US effectively severs trade ties with China. This focus on flexibility and resilience in the supply chains is manifesting itself, and COVID-19 can be the biggest accelerator of diversification towards India as companies adopt a China plus one strategy to de-risk themselves. It is up to the Indian manufacturing sector to seize the opportunity. Let me share a couple of examples. Number one, International mobile phone companies planned 900 million investments in 5 years to expand India manufacturing. The Japanese government has offered firms subsidies to shift production out of China. Over 2008 and 19, India's average wage growth stood at 5% per annum versus 11% for China. Now, key subsectors like electric and electronics, auto, chemicals, pharma, industrial machinery, metals, apparel and textile are expected to benefit from this diversification of supply chains with positive indicators visible. India's exports of electronic and electronics grew 29% over 2017 and 19 period versus stagnant growth over 2010 to 2017. So you can see the uptick in the last couple of years. Comparative figures for industrial machinery stood at 13%, 17 over 19, and 11%, 2010 over 17 respectively. In a nutshell, there are two major opportunities for Indian manufacturing sector. Number one, export focus. Emerge as a global preferred exporter and reliable alternative to China. Increased share in US and European Union imports. The second is import substitution. With government stimulus and focus on supply chain resilience, Indian firms should localize and reduce China dependence. Estimates suggest that these two opportunities can take our manufacturing GVA from 400 billion in 2019 to around 1 trillion just in the next couple of years, and we are saying 2025, thus accelerating our journey towards Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat vision. Let us explore the key enablers leading to a sustainable manufacturing ecosystem. Capturing this opportunity mandates creation of a sustainable manufacturing ecosystem, and this can be enabled by 5 key themes. The first is develop a supplier ecosystem with robust MSMEs. For this, we would need to do the following. Number one, increase access to finance. Number two, provide strategic support for growth, be it R&D facilities, subsidies, and 3, larger manufacturing players to support their MSMEs in order to grow. Second, improve labor productivity through either upskilling, training, and cross-skilling, upskilling of employees by manufacturing firms. Third, extend regulatory support and improve ease of doing business. Essentially, land acquisition, flexible labor laws, fiscal stimulus and incentives for priority sectors, for easy access to capital and lower cost of debt if needed. And finally, duties, especially anti-dumping duties and strict enforcement is required to prevent flooding of the market by cheap imports. Fourth, provide infrastructure inputs to support competitive cost operations. Here, 24/7 uninterrupted power at economical cost is needed. Expansion and modernization of the logistics infrastructure, commercial coal mining. I think these are some of the key themes which will help us improve the infrastructure. And lastly, digital and tech adoption for competitive advantage in cost, quality, speed, and reliability. Digitalization can give us a boost to India's 5 trillion economy quest. As per records, just a 16% realization of the automation potential can contribute 365 billion to India's efforts in becoming a 5 trillion economy. India can become the automation capital of the world because of the country's huge workforce and lack of technology barriers. As we know, the data cost in India is the lowest compared to the world average cost per 1 GB of data. The combination of technology, data, and talent make intelligent system possible and has reached critical mass, driving extraordinary growth across company boundaries to create better outcomes for customers and society. And finally, as I said earlier, incentives and tax credits to encourage embracing digital. I would now like to deal with some of the initiatives which Vedanta has taken towards contributing towards a sustainable manufacturing ecosystem. At Vedanta, we believe we are a 13 billion startup with a founder's mentality embedded in our DNA. Responding to COVID made us nimble from our size and complexity. Considering we are one of the country's largest diversified natural resources company, this is no mean feat. We accelerated digitalization and adoption of agile ways of working to ensure real-time decision-making that in turn allowed us to respond to fluid market conditions, changing customer needs, disrupted supply chains, and employee safety. The digitalization and automation opportunities available today enable companies to collaborate across their value chains in ways that can provide a positive step change in productivity as well as design and quality. A few examples our businesses are following are Vedanta Smelters in Jharsuguda, the aluminium smelters, is India's first and world's third smelter to deploy digital smelter solution using digital twin technology, which allows for remote monitoring and control. It enhances energy efficiency and arrests wastage of material. We are in the process of deploying advanced digital technologies in our power plants for predictive and prescriptive analysis to enhance efficiency with minimal human intervention. Implementation of manufacturing excellence systems, MES as we call them, across all our aluminium plants ensures visibility of all critical plant operations and allows for decision making remotely. We have launched a digital metal store through an e-commerce platform for our zinc operations at Hindustan Zinc Limited, and that is very unique to our business. Robotic process automation is being tested in shared services and is optimizing repetitive activities. The company has built end-to-end digital logistics control towers. With that, we have enabled Vedanta to reduce commodity costs, quality pilferages, and process inefficiencies impacting top line and enabling paperless operations. We are fostering the entire ecosystem of MSMEs, suppliers, and customers by providing them innovative channel financing solutions from fintech startups and e-commerce platforms. A startup incubator called Vedanta Spark has been created to accelerate our adoption of emerging technologies. We are already working with about 10 startups on various business solutions. Our internal innovation cafes are fueling internal innovations and encouraging youngsters to work on business solutions to sow the seeds of greater business excellence. Our people practices from hire to retire lean on digital heavily for talent management and for creating our robust internal leadership pipeline. At Vedanta, we believe in working with the best business partners and suppliers to bring in their global excellence, and this strategy is the core of our manufacturing excellence. Finally, the litmus test of sustainability of operations is based on the performance around ESG, health, safety, environment, and community welfare. These are at the heart of every business leader's focus. It was a great endorsement for Vedanta to be ranked amongst world's top 15 metal and mining companies by the Dow Jones Sustainability Index 2020, and this encourages us to raise the bar even further. So in a nutshell, we are at the forefront of creating an ecosystem of partners who can disrupt different parts of the value chain while keeping environment, sustainability, and governance at the forefront of our operations. So to conclude, I would say India has watched China in awe for years as they went on to build their invincible manufacturing capabilities. Today, as the world order gets rearranged, India has a unique opportunity to be back in the ring, provided we follow a differentiated strategy and act fast instead of learning from China and repeating what they did several years ago. We need to write our own rules, which are relevant in the present times and which allow us to leapfrog our manufacturing capabilities. We need to accelerate progress on manufacturing 4 and beyond and ambitiously push for a V-shaped manufacturing resurrection, which will require many revolutionary steps. Today, we have the political capital to make this happen. To make this shift tenable, we must embrace practices which come naturally to us, particularly the core Indian values of sustainability, conservation, and people centricity, and also make our natural resources our natural strategic advantage. Just like how our Prime Minister has explained the importance of self-reliance through the Vedic aphorism, Sarvam Atmam Vasham Sukham, that which is in your control gives you happiness. The present times may indeed prove to be an opportunity in the crisis, and his Atmanirbhar Bharat clarion call should not remain a statement, but be the revolution that promises to herald a novel beginning for the Indian economy. Thank you so much.